Howdy all, Wyrm here. Welcome to episode 6 of the class lore series. In this episode, we're headed back under the shade of the trees of the Twelveswood to explore the class that is most recognizable by every new player that starts the game, and serves as the original poster boy of Final Fantasy XIV. I speak of the bow-wielding archer. First off, let's go over the official description of the archer from the FF14 website. With a bow in hand and a quiver on their back, the archer strikes at the enemy from afar. In Eorzea, two schools of archery have risen to prominence, that of the longbow sentries of the Elezen military, and that of the shortbow hunters of the Mikote. Archers constantly assess the battlefield in order to determine the most advantageous ground from which to loose their arrows, as well as the nature of their shaft, point, and fletching best suited to their foe. It is said that master archers are capable of showering their targets with a veritable deluge of death well before the counterattack can ever be mounted. A to-the-point lore description of how archers and by connection bards feel when you play them, and you get a nice slice of lore on that description also. Let's move on and explore the history of archery in Final Fantasy XIV. The bow can be regarded as an ancient weapon on Hydaelyn. In ancient times, when people were hunting for food, the transition from spear to bow marked a major shift in life for all species. The bow allowed tribes to better feed themselves, thus for populations to grow and for societies to thrive. Of course, as history winds on, this tool of the hunt found its place on the ancient battlefields as a weapon to deal death from long range. The bow was used by most humanoid species on Hydaelyn at this point, including many of the beast tribes and by a fair degree many other kin across Hydaelyn. But one place more than most where the art of the archer is utilised is by the peoples that reside in the Twelveswood. The bow served as a vital weapon for the Elezen and Hur that emerged from Gelmora to found the nation of Gridania. Many years ago, during Gridania's early days, an organisation existed in the Twelveswood known as the Trappers League. The League had two functions. Firstly, to promote the bonds between hunters. Second was to decide when and where game could be hunted in the Twelveswood. This, more than anything, was to maintain the peace between Gridania and the Elementals, the latter having given the Gridanians permission to found their nation under the trees of the Twelveswood. As time went on, members of the League took more to engaging in friendly competition rather than hunting game. In time, this group split away from the League to devote themselves to wielding and perfecting the art of the bow. This group of people were the founders of the Archers Guild. How the arts and style of the Archers Guild came to be in modern day is actually quite an interesting subject. Long ago, the Gridanians, who were at the time primarily used the longbow, were already engaging in conflict with the Mikote, who wielded their short bows, and had been poaching the game of the Twelveswood and upsetting the Elementals. Over time, both sides reached an accord and merged their archery techniques together into the unique style that is now taught in the Archers Guild, and utilised by the archers of the Twelveswood. Back to the present, the Archers Guild is the foremost organisation dedicated to perfecting and teaching the art of the bow. Another such group are the God's Quiver, a relatively new organisation that was founded to combat the threat posed by the Ixal attacks on the Twelveswood. Comprised of mostly archers, the God's Quiver works with the Wood Whalers to maintain the borders of the Black Shroud and ensure the peace of the Elementals is maintained. Archers play a key role in the armed forces of the Grand Companies of the Eorzean city-states, as well as the Temple Knights of Ishgard. The Grand Company of Eorzea has many within their ranks that prove vital against the gun-wielding forces of the Garlean Empire. We have many examples of archers throughout the game's history and story, but most prominent is the archer class wielded by the Warrior of Light when 1.0 was originally released. He served as the original poster boy of Final Fantasy XIV and is still well recognised today, most recently featuring in the trailer for the Shadowbringers expansion. As most know, the mastering of the art of the bow leads us into contact with a certain bard who teaches us their arts, an almost natural step for the strings of our bows, from dealing destruction to soothing the souls of others with music. And that just about does it for the lore of the archer in Final Fantasy XIV. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, leave your opinion in the comments and hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing to my channel, and check out the videos I've already uploaded. Thanks all, and now, as always, have a good one.